the African setup, we glorify suffering. As far
To an
as men
extent,
are-
yes. Yes, very much, because my mother didn't do that. She empowered me. She told me, you can do that. I can go forth and put up all that effort, and I can still get something great, and I should be able to speak for myself when I need to. But from my aunts, that was completely different. From my grandmother, that was completely different. It was, I had to learn how to cook. Otherwise, my husband would take me back home.
You're being grown to know how to cook.
Yes, to know how to cook for the man that is going to marry me, to know how to behave, to speak.
When the generations ahead of us are doing a certain thing the way we don't agree to, like, we'll be like, no, imagine, no, us, we will not follow that. That is wrong. So in that perspective, I do feel like we are more empowered because we are more bold.
If you're married, you go to your in-laws, for example, for Christmas. So on Instagram, I always see people are suffering. They're crying. They're like, oh my God, I woke up at 6. I've been washing dishes. I've been cooking for the whole family. I've been doing this and this. I feel like like I work here now.
Yeah.
And every time I see a message like that, I'm like, why don't you say no?
Yeah.
Like, you are tired. Anybody can see you're tired, honestly.
That's what she said.
Hi, welcome to another episode of That's What She Said. And in today's episode, we really want to talk about wellness, nutrition, empowerment, and, as women driving our careers. And I'm so happy and lucky to be joined by empowered young Kenyans. So please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Juliet Lorraine, and I'm a 20-year-old aspiring software engineer.
And are you currently in school?
Yes, I'm a student in my second year, and I'm having a blast, to say the truth.
You better, otherwise he'll come for you. That's what university is all for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My name is Tifa Labib. I'm so happy to be joined with you incredible women. I am right now an insurance qualifier. I'm a nurse aide as well. And just out here navigating life as the gal boss I am.
And that's what she said.
That's what she said.
Girl bossing. And this episode is all about empowerment. And I know as women, we really took off. At some point, we wanted all the jobs, we wanted all the careers. It doesn't matter whether this is a male-dominated area or not. We got empowered and we started running with it. And we want to, even be financially independent at, as much as possible, or as much as the men as well. Now, you have said you do software engineering.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Because in the past, you'd find it's men who just want to go and study software engineering. Was that your idea, or your parents were like, you look like you're so intelligent. Off you go to software engineering.
Well, truth be told, I'd say it was my whole idea, because I was very good at mathematics, physics, and I challenged my peers, even the boys in class.
Yeah.
I enjoyed those competitions.
Uh-huh.
So to think that I was going to get into a field where I could still challenge them and show them I can do it way better than them,
Yeah.
it just drove me to get into it.
So you're very competitive, clearly.
I'm very competitive in everything in life.
And what did you study?
Okay, I have a long story for this, but basically, like, after high school, I did ACDE, which is basically, teaching small kids. I wanted to be a teacher because I loved kids. And then I taught for 2 terms and I realized loving kids and teaching them.
They're not marrying.
Oh my God, I was like, this is not working. So I left. I went to work.
But I hope it hasn't shaken your love for kids.
Absolutely not. I still adore them.
Yeah.
A whole other story. But yeah, I love them still. And then I went to work. So I worked for a while, not as a teacher. I just found a job, electric shop. I did there for like over a year. Then I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this. I want to go back to school.
Yeah.
So my dad was like, are you sure? You mother, you want this, you want that? And I was like, you know what? This time I'm serious. This is exactly what I want to do. I want to do business management.
Yeah.
So I went back to school. Shortly after I started, I think after like first year, I fell in love in between. Yeah.
There's that song that no, who was that said they went to uni and then they came out with 2 degrees.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Marriage, relationship, and the degree that took you.
Yeah. And the other degree of pregnancy.
Oh,
But
yeah. PhD student.
But
So you were?
so I fell in love in between, and I was like, oh, you know what? I just want to be a wifey.
Were you in the same class?
No, absolutely not. Okay, this guy was 10 years older than me. We were not in the same class. So I was like, you know what, actually, because, you know, not even just in my community, as girls, we grew up like wanting that fairy tale, that man who's gonna come and slip you,
my feet,
and save you. And just, you know, life is gonna be amazing after that, you know. So I thought, you know what, school can wait. Paused, quit.
And so you paused from your normal term to go get married.
Okay, so in between there, there's actually a lot of things in between there because COVID happened, so we had to learn online. And then I want to get married.
More
now.
learnings.
Yeah, so I was just like, you know what, these online classes are not even working out for me anyways. Let me just focus on building a family. So that's what I did. I got married at 21. It was absolutely insane. My family was like,
how did they respond to that?
Everyone was against it. They were like, bro,
was it
what
because
are you
of
doing?
his age or your age?
I think it's more because of my age. Yeah. They were like, you know, this is too soon. You should wait. You should study.
Yeah.
My parents are like, you know, you should just wait. My siblings as well. Everyone was like, just wait. But at the end of the day, they saw, you know what, I'm going to do it with or without.
Yeah, and you're an adult.
A girl is in love. And I was like, that was really dumb of me, if I can say so myself, because as women, we shouldn't just quit school for a man. Like what?
Yeah, you should quit because of other reasons.
Yeah, not because now this is the bigger thing.
Yeah.
No, they're both big. I'm not saying that marriage is, you know, is trash or anything like that.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't just leave this entirely for this other thing. We should do them both or finish one and then do one. So yeah, I got married and then obviously it didn't work out. Not even obviously. You don't know that.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. So I was left there, heartbroken.
Do you feel like maybe it didn't work out because of the nature in which it even came, to being? And also, while talking about that, and even from a parent's support perspective, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I know sometimes there are either like Muslim women who get married a bit young.
Yeah.
So for 21, was that like too young, or it was just the nature of the whole union that was just not making sense?
Yeah, no, actually, 21 it's not really considered young, but if you think about it, it is young.
Yeah.
Because your brain fully develops at 25. I mean, what do you even
And
know?
remember,
What do you know
that
at
25 is brain developing for women, for girls,
yeah.
because the men then take longer for their
way
brain
longer.
to develop
Exactly.
the same way.
So I was too young for that. I can admit that now. You know, at that time, you couldn't tell me nothing.
I'm not your mate.
I was like, you can't tell me nothing. But I can admit it's because I was young. The age difference, the maturity. Even I thought I was very mature. I thought I have everything figured out, but I wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't emotionally intelligent. I was, snappy, this, that. And also there was also some problems on his side, but like we're not going to talk about that. But it's just also, I guess, marrying wrong. Yeah, because I always say if it worked out, I would be giving a whole different story, right? But it was the wrong man for me. It was the wrong time entirely, and yeah, that's exactly why it didn't work out. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I need to figure out my life. I quit school for this guy.
Yeah.
And it ended up the way it ended up, There was a lot of toxicity, a lot of, I think, I'm not going to say just men in my community, but men generally have this thing of like women should listen, women should sit down, women should, and I didn't
Here
like
you were trying
that.
to do to the opposite.
Yeah,
Exact opposite.
I didn't like that, and I didn't know that prior to getting married, that this is exactly how it was going to be. And me getting married was me moving out of that mold of being controlled. And then now I'm in a house of, and I was like, now you're not going to restrict me, sir. That's not going to
I'm
happen.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but this is not what's going to happen here. So, I wasn't comfortable with that whole thing. So I left and I was like, I'm going to be abandoned and just thrown out of my house because my parents are
Because
going
divorce, I would want to assume, is not necessarily something that family members celebrate naturally. Granted, even if you do like a normal Christian wedding and you go back to your parents and say, I'm divorcing this man, they do everything possible for you guys to try and work it out before we can acknowledge, okay, now it's not working, you can move your way. What was the impact of that decision for you to leave this guy and divorce him, even to your, your thinking, like, now I need to move a certain way? Your family, how were they receiving the news from that particular point? Your peers, what was it like?
It was first of all, it was very heartbreaking. It was one of the worst times of my entire life because I thought this was going to be forever. No one gets married thinking, okay, this is going to end. Like, like you have envisioned this whole life and now things are not going that way. So now you're left like, and you're like, now my family is also going to disown me. First of all, they told me not to do what? Oh my God. Like Tulikwambia, we told you. So there was that whole thing, but I was like, you know what? I am ready to be disowned. I am ready to be, I don't know how I'll figure it out, but I know I will. And that's the mindset I went with. And even going to tell them, I knew that, okay, it's a wrap. I'm packing my bags and I'm going. But it wasn't like that. They welcomed me. They understood the situation. Of course, they talked here and there. They tried to, but they saw anyway, this is not working out. Like when there's any form of abuse in a marriage, and that's like when people hear of abuse, they think physical abuse, of which was getting there. But, the emotional abuse was too much, right?
Even financial sometimes. It can actually like take a toll on some.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was just too much. So I just spoke to them and they understood it. They held my hand through it all. It was a really tough time, but, we got through it. Shortly after, I was able to get back to my life. Take care of my parents, go back to school. This time
I was actually waiting for that, like, going back to school because the person I left school for is no longer in the picture. So then am I able to go back to school and be able to, to finish and go back now into the job market and work. Now, if we had to take it way, way back, how we grew up, even with our moms, we are very driven as young women. We want to go into careers that are male-dominated. We want to marry and divorce. It's not making sense. And still, learn and all that. When we think about our mothers and their generation, do you feel like they had the same zeal to make decisions and choices for either their careers, their marriage, like how, they tell us stories and some we see. Do you feel like we are really the same or we are cut from a different cloth?
We are absolutely not the same. Not even. We're not the same. We are not the same.
How is it for you guys?
I'm thinking my mother, like not even my mother, my older sister, she was baffled. Like up to today, she's like, yo, you are bold. Like the things you do out here, like just like a generation over, like they can't move like the way we move because, they're taught, no, you should be submissive, you should listen to your husband, vumilia,
Nakamua.
like even I was told that. I was told, like I think you should have held on. It's always hard initially. You always have to just
And they say
after-
nothing good is ever easy.
Yeah.
They say nothing good is ever easy.
So
And
do you
it's
feel
not
like
good.
the African setup, we glorify suffering as far
To
as
an
women
extent,
are-
yes. Yes, very much. Because for me, it's different. Yes, I do say that like that generation is from a different cloth.
Yeah.
But my mother didn't do that. She empowered me. She told me, you can do that. I can go forth and put up all that effort and I can still get something great, and I should be able to speak for myself when I need to. But from my aunts, that was completely different. From my grandmother, that was completely different. It was, I had to learn how to cook. Otherwise, my husband would take me back home.
You're being groomed to know how to cook.
To know
for
how
the-
to cook for the man that is going to marry me, to know how to behave, to speak, even in front of my uncles. It's like, if there's a family meeting, they'll say it's only male.
Men.
Yeah, only men are going in there. I'm not supposed to. I'm a woman. I should go and stay with my aunts.
Or even if
and
you
be in the
listen,
kitchen,
you don't talk.
Yeah, I can't. My opinion wasn't valid. It was crazy.
I watched a TikTok the other day. I know you guys are on TikTok. Probably you have met that video of this Swazi lady who is married to a Kenyan. I don't know whether you've met that video. And then now in Swaziland, they groom you to be a wife. Now she married this Kenyan man and moved to Kenya with him. Now this Kenyan man just lives his life.
Yeah.
Now this girl came on TikTok and created a video and saying, is there any Swazi lady who is married to a Kenyan? We compare notes because in Swaziland, once you're married, your in-laws tell you even what time to wake up. Like in this homestead, because you're marrying into a family, not necessarily marrying just your husband. It's into a homestead, So you already have his siblings, his nieces and nephews, his parents and whatever. So you are sat down and you're told, you will wake up at, let's say, 6 a.m. Once you wake up, you need to do 1, 2, 3. This is what you need to cook. This is how you handle everybody. Now she was just confused because she's like, nobody's guiding me. My in-laws are not telling me what time to wake up. I'm like, what? I think I even went and commented. I'm like, girl, just come to Banana Beauty work. Because what?
She felt lost.
Yeah, because she's feeling lost. No in-law is coming in to tell her, this is the time you wake up. This is what we expect of you. This is the time you go to sleep. These are the clothes that you need to wash and whatever. So she was wondering, how are you Kenyans dealing with all these? And she said, once she asked the husband, what are my roles? The husband's like, see, you are my wife. Like, your role is just to be my wife. So she was coming to the internet really shocked. Like, I did not know that people live like this. I've been groomed all my life to cater to you. And at that point, I don't know whether she has a career or not, but you can tell the generations and how different African communities think about what a woman should be like and what empowerment looks like. And I feel like from a Kenyan settings, we are extremely, extremely empowered. I don't know whether you share the same.
Completely. Because if the husband didn't expect her to do anything,
in fact, the comment someone was saying, in Kenya, even the husband, you will not take care of him. You'll wake up and make his own coffee, and you just relax.
Because he understands that a woman can still have her own power and her.
Unfortunately, not all men think like that, though. Hey,
You think?
No, I was married to the opposite of that.
What?
I know. What do you mean you can just do whatever you want? Even the scarf I'll wear, I'm telling you today is green. And I'm like, bro, how now? You can't tell me what to do. But to be fair, he was not Kenyan. So maybe, I understand the whole culture differences, this,
Like
that.
today, you'll wear a green scarf.
Yeah, like, someone who wants to tell you, how we'll sit, how we'll laugh, how much longer we'll talk about this thing. Like, it's very structured. And
so do you guys, all of you, know how to cook?
absolutely,
I just said I had to learn how to cook. My husband had to have food in the evening when he comes back.
And do you feel like it's really affecting now as we grow? Yes, Well, we will have to still acknowledge that as women, we do get groomed to some level to be wives and moms and whatnot. Even the cooking is not that I'm teaching you how to cook so that you can be dependent on yourself.
Yeah.
To some extent, is you will get to a level where you will cook for your family.
So self-sustain yourself.
Like that. Because otherwise, if it was for independence, even boys would be, taught very early on how to know how to cook. Then do you feel, with the culture that we have as Africans, or even Kenyans in this case, from an ambition perspective, you are a very driven woman. Do you feel like the culture that we have kind of slows us a little bit because then you have other things to think about on the side, aside from your career?
I think so. From my point of view, I think so. Because to some extent, if it wasn't put on that much pressure to learn how to cook, I would have maybe even realized, I like doing it, but I don't have to. I don't have to. There's so much more I can get into. And also for the ones who don't like doing it, for them it became like that much pressure, It wasn't comfortable for them. And they learned it. I think it lowers your self-esteem to some extent. Because if you already feel like you can't put up the role that people have put in your mind
for you,
so it just, there's so much more to learning how to cook.
The funny thing, sometimes I see X, former Twitter, when they used to bash us women who don't know how to make chapatis. He's like, what? But see, I eat whatever I cook. I'm able to eat. What does that have to do with?
Why is it not round? Like
you cook anything, or even pancakes. Why are they not round? I'm like, but
are we eating the shape? Like, I want to be eating.
And my family is already eating. Why does it have to be a certain way?
It doesn't.
And it goes back to the grooming part of things and us feeling like we are here to exist for other reasons aside from our careers and whatnot. For me, I remember I almost did engineering, but thank God for understanding parents. So I genuinely wanted to study medicine. But in Kenyan curriculum, when you put in the courses that you want to go and study, I really knew, for a fact, I'm going to do medicine. So I put medicine as the first choice. Now, these other choices I didn't care much. I put pharmacy, engineering, I don't know what. Because I knew I would not be called for that. Lo and behold, I got an admission for telecommunication engineering. So immediately I'm like, mathematics, what? I was really struggling with math, though I was so good with physics and all of that. But I was so strong with biology and chemistry. So I went to my dad and I told my dad, if you genuinely want me to fail in life, we'll progress with this engineering. But if you want me to flourish, we better change this whole course and look for a biology chemistry course. And we embarked on now going school to school, trying to see if there's room for one extra student. And I remember my dad, by the time we were now registering for biotechnology, which is more or less similar to biochemistry, and he was telling me, you are going to be the biggest scientist in this world. And immediately I'm just looking at my dad, I'm like, I love how parents, to some extent, especially the generation of our parents, were slowly coming off of, this is a girl, she doesn't have to go to school, or this is a girl, she needs to be groomed for marriage. And they were now coming to, admit and agree that even a girl can have, a career. How was that for you from your homestead situation?
I can actually relate to that because, fathers and mothers even like, you expect them to be like, no, you're doing this and that's final. But I also thank God for the parents I have because they were very, like, they moved with me, they were flexible. They were like, 1 minute you want to be a teacher, 1 minute you want to be
pivoting. Your work is just pivoting.
they were like, okay, but but they weren't like, no, what are you doing? They were like, it's crazy, but okay. We're moving. We're flowing together. So that's the incredible part of it. And now us the parents that we will be, like it will be phenomenal. Because like, you know, we know from them, like you should support your children. You shouldn't like want to mold them to be a certain way. Apana where you are supposed to be a lawyer. That was the plan. Like, you know, the moment you're popped
an African
out,
parent is still an African parent.
yeah.
So when you say lawyer, engineer, doctor, the whole village will know.
Yeah.
They're going to tell everyone. Everyone has
Especially
to
for you.
Oh my goodness.
Let me tell you, when you're gonna graduate, you will hear.
I'll even have my neighbors coming to my graduation.
And then now the mom can easily even start saying,
Yeah.
oh, you know, my daughter is an engineer. Oh, engineer so and so.
Yeah.
It's just like the other day, someone was getting married to an engineer, and then the mother kept saying, Mrs. Engineer. I'm like, what?
Yeah, she's not the
What is that, Mrs. Engineer?
Yeah.
So do you guys feel like, and I know you guys are Gen Zs, do you feel like Gen Zs are way more empowered compared to millennials, the likes of me?
No.
From a go for your dreams kind of perspective,
Like we're more empowered than you.
do you feel like?
No, I don't think so. Because you're an amazing woman, obviously. You've gotten to great heights.
Yeah.
So I'd say you're also empowered in your own way. I shouldn't be able to measure that extent. And I think we have gotten that empowerment from you. It's generational. It's gone from you to us. So I can't say that
makes sense.
that we are lower, that
Yeah.
you have greater. Yeah, I can't say we have
So the
greater ambition.
empowerment in this scenario is not even coming from, well, they do contribute from a family perspective, but also even with the social media happening, and now all the millennials are able to show you guys, this is what we do.
Yeah.
And you guys now are able to draw.
We get it from that.
inspiration
Yeah.
from
We learn
that.
from that because now we're getting into society. We're seeing this is how it is.
Yeah.
So we are getting that empowerment from everything that's around us.
I understand that point of view.
Yeah.
But I also feel like when the generations ahead of us are doing a certain thing the way we don't agree to, like we'll be like, no, imagine, no, us, we will not follow that. That is wrong. So in that perspective, I do feel like we are more empowered because we are more bold.
Yeah.
To speak about when something is wrong, that I agree completely.
Exactly,
We
yeah.
can say it out loud. We'll say no. We have that courage to speak out. But for you guys, I'll agree. That generation is not open to speaking out loud.
Do you choose the scenarios where you want to speak up? Because let's say, for example, you're in school, it could be in a classroom, the lecturer is saying something, could be at home, your mom is saying something. You know, as when your mom says something, there's no room for negotiating. I don't know, we are negotiating, or I have said it's like that. The teacher has said next week we having a class on Tuesday. That's it. Do you pick and choose the areas where you can be vocal and areas where?
No, I don't think so. If something doesn't sit right with me, it doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, exactly.
If
Born in the wrong
If it's my mother, if it's my teacher, if it's my friend, if it's my uncle, I do not care. If it does not fit with me, it doesn't fit with me.
Yeah.
I
feel the exact way.
Yeah.
But I also feel like for me, it, like as I grew up is when I was able to, you know, when I was a bit younger, when I was getting married. You know, when I was getting married at 21, you know, I was a bit more like you could control me a bit. But, you know, now as I've grown into the woman that I'm becoming, I am more able to be like, no, you will not tell me to do this if I'm not comfortable doing it. So for me, it's not even a Gen Z thing. It's just me as an individual, how I have grown. You know, the confidence I have, the person I am is not the same person I was 5 years, 7 years ago.
True facts.
Yeah, so for me,
That's what she said.
exactly. So I don't know if that has something to do with Gen Z, Nini, but I also feel like this early 20s and us mid
You know, one thing I came to realize, the Gen Zs are not in the same categories. There's the early 20s.
Yeah.
And
the mid.
and you know, the late 20s also want to be millennials. They want to come this way. And I realized the two of you, in terms of now from a group perspective, the early 20s and mid going all the way to late 20s, the Gen Zs of that time, they want to be identified as, I'm a Gen Z, yes, but I'm in my mid 20s.
Yeah,
Why is that important?
Exactly.
It's
It doesn't.
important.
Why?
Why?
We are not the same.
But then again, yes,
how
we're not.
even
We're
how
not.
she's saying, oh no, me if I don't want to do this, I was not like that at 20.
You know,
You know,
I do agree. We're not the same because, like I was saying, some things were passed down from the other generation. They got some things from the millennials that we did not get.
Yeah.
So when she says that she wasn't still able to speak out, that was something that was in the other generation. For us, we speak. You're gonna hear me out.
Now, as we are speaking now, you're coming up. You're like, okay, they're speaking. They've started to.
So
speak,
you would choose and pick and choose what you want to speak on.
Yeah, like
during your time.
Yeah.
And then anything.
No.
Yeah.
Anything.
They're not the same.
How does that work for you in a work environment now?
Well, at this point of my life, no. At this point, it works amazing. Like, because people feel like, no, this girl's just gonna be quiet. Because for the most part, sometimes I am awfully quiet. In like, she seems like she's not gonna say anything. And I don't know if it's women from my culture who are known to just be submissive and listen and not speak out. But when things are said that I'm not comfortable with, I will speak out. They'll be like,
we thought you were quiet. Or the thing that sometimes happens, I even see it in my own workplace, maybe someone who is quiet, and then now when the vocalization was happening, maybe someone was not there. So you're being told from a third party perspective, like, here, and then this happened, and then this, and then she say, wait, who?
yeah, exactly.
Who said? Because you cannot believe.
Yeah, you can't believe
that quiet person actually, spoke up and was able to have that kind of conversation.
Thank God for the growth.
I'm telling you. Yeah. Now, in this current era, there's a lot of hustle culture. Like, we want to be boss babes. I think there's that time even online, everyone had a name, and then at the end it is boss lady. It could be Maureen boss lady. This one boss lady.
I remember that time.
The boss lady thing. And I know in my generation, it was just like, boss lady now also meant you probably have certain businesses and you're making a certain amount of money. And now for us who are not using the boss lady name, we're just feeling pressure that nobody has put on you, but just feeling pressure like, oh my God, a boss babe. And I remember at that time, because, social media now, the good thing you're able to see, you're just seeing them from one gig to another, opening one branch, opening another one, moving from one business to another. So the hustle culture then was inculcated in us that you better wake up and be on the move. Do you guys feel like it's the same for you, or you guys are now cultivating your own hustle culture?
You can go.
I think for me, boss lady would just mean being confident, being able to speak out, put my views out there, show up, and go for what I want. Like, make my dreams come true. It doesn't have to be in a hard way. I can choose a simpler way that is comfortable for me. Yeah, so boss lady is completely different. I'll have it soft hard.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, your views of the things that we used to imagine, the way you guys look at them is totally different. Would you agree with her? Or for you, in your Gen Z-ness, but mid-20s, is it more the way we were seeing it as millennials?
Okay, I'll go back to myself in my early 20s. I had that mentality of, I want to be a girl boss. I want to do the things, this, that. And then I stopped school and then I did school. So obviously I was dependent on a man, to financially sustain me, this, that, which was great because at the end of the day, I will acknowledge that I was financially taken care of, right? And I didn't have to worry about the next meal I'm going to eat or this or that. But there was also this thing in me of like, but I also want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to just sit. Now I sit at home and cook. Like, now I wait for you. Like, now,
Tell me what to do.
There's this satisfaction of having to buy stuff from your own money. From your own.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing to be taken care of, but I feel like women should also have their own money. I'm not saying that, Apana, you hustle and you pay all the bills and the men at the end of the day, I believe men are supposed to protect and provide.
Yes,
right?
very much.
Not
very much.
Even the Bible says that, and I'm sure the Quran even amplifies the same message.
Exactly. That's the rule. But at the end of the day, we also want to have our own thing, have our own money. So, after I went back to school, especially without a man, now I'm like, yo, you have to, you're the girl boss now you have to do it.
You're the girl boss you were told about.
Now, you're that sponsor, you're your own financial,
manager.
So you have to get things done.
I had to get things done. And I'm not even like mad about it. I love working. I love supporting myself. I love supporting my family. So that's really amazing.
And on social media, there's this thing that happens where when someone is being provided for financially, and maybe now they call themselves boss babes, in the comments you always get some uproar of someone comparing now that person to someone now who works for their money, and we can see them, helter-skelter trying to make things like build an empire and whatnot. Do you have any opinions from a point of there's someone else who's being provided for and being financially, can be able to manage life, but they're being supported financially by somebody, and there's on the other side, you're having this boss babe who is deep in her hustle, living the same lifestyle.
A hustle is a hustle. If I'm gonna hustle by someone else giving me that money, well and good, it's still a hustle. So a hustle is a hustle. If she wants to be a girl boss in that way, let her. It still gives her that confidence as a person. So, and if this other person wants to go and be independent and she's very comfortable with that, let her. A hustle is a hustle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in regards to that, do you then feel like, especially the modern woman who is the one who is now working for themselves, do you feel like they live to work or they work to live? From a point of they're just surviving, I'm just working so I can survive? Or do you feel like we have enough people who are making their money work for them?
I feel like most that I've seen are working to live. Yeah.
It's such a sad reality.
It is, because from some things I've heard, it's more like they say, I have bills, I have this, I have school, I have clothes, I have children, I have family. So they go to work and able to provide all that, and that is very much okay. But I feel like they should also consider and learn that they themselves need some soft girl treatment from one time. Yeah.
The balance can be, I can tell you for free, even from my own experience, the balance can sometimes be a bit, ish, because you're looking at a scenario where our economy is not, every day something is going up. It's not like at some point the bread is going to go down to 5 bob, and you have bills at the end of the day. And I know for me, when I started my business, I always say I'm one of those entrepreneurs who were not looking to be entrepreneurs. I just found myself in that territory. So when I started my business, I was working a 9 to 5. And then I started my business as a side hustle. And it started growing to a point where now the salaries were matching. Whatever I was making in profit was matching my salary. So at that point, I'm like, then why am I doing this as a side hustle? It should be a full-time thing. So something that I was trying to do for, just a side thing to give me like extra money for clothes and whatever. Here it is now. I've quit my job. I am doing it, as a full job. And then slowly you realize it's becoming serious. I even tell my employees all the time, I did not ask for this job. I not ask for this job that is making me be this busy, making me put in so much time. And when I quit my job, I remember telling my family, I'm quitting this job to create more time to spend with you guys. Nowadays, my husband looks at me and he's like, so that time you were telling us, where is it? I'm looking under the table and all that, and I can't see it. And when I think about how I have hustled, one of the things that I now intentionally do is to still be in my soft girl era.
Very much.
I cannot work to live. Like that one, I just made a mental note. It's not going to happen. So what I ended up doing is I have my own pocket of peace scenarios. I have my own days when it is my day, it's my spa day. I need to do my own maintenance. I need to do 1, 2, 3. Nowadays, I can go buy, let's say, a nice blazer without feeling guilty. Like, you.
And
Why?
I'm pretty sure those days give you some mental clarity.
Yeah, they give you some mental clarity because
Exactly.
now, remember, it doesn't mean when I'm buying my blazer, I don't have a bill to pay.
Yeah.
It does not mean I don't have rent somewhere that I need to pay, but also I cannot work to have money for rent constantly at all times. And I know for the two of us, we're now in the workspace, you're in school.
Yeah.
Are there any thoughts around how you are trying to look at the whole scenario in a way that when you're out now here, you're not going to work to live?
No, actually, I think it still can also apply to me because I'm doing an engineering course. I can code at least 3 days straight. Yeah, building a whole app is not easy.
Yeah.
And then there's this pressure where you build like 3 pages of code and then you run it and then it tells you error. I have 3 pages of code. Where am I going to find that error? I have to keep going back and again and again. But I realize even with the constant projects that I usually have, there has to be a time where I put time for me. Because for me to even make that code work, I have to have a peace of mind that I get from being away from all that for a while. So yeah.
So do you feel like we can achieve balance when you think about it? Because personally, I gave up with balancing, but I try. I have a formula for trying to balance.
That balance is not easy, but we also still need to know it should be there. Yeah, so when you finally put it as a priority as well, just the way your job is a priority, it will just stick in between there. Yeah, it will come in between.
You know, whenever anyone asks me about balance, so for me, I'm a family person, I am a business owner, then there is me. I always say I cannot suffer in all 3 aspects of my life. Now we are lying. Come on. Because at work, something can happen and it's beyond me. Yeah. When something is beyond me, there's nothing I can do. I have to solve it. So if it's stressful, I have to navigate through that particular stress. From a family setup, anything can happen. Someone can be sick, it can be a financial issue, it can be anything. And you have to navigate through that. But when it comes to me, no, I cannot intentionally suffer. I decided, no, it's not happening. That balance, yes, it's difficult because even right now we are here talking about this particular topic. I'm not at work, neither am I at home catering to my family. So technically, my family is suffering, work is suffering, but I'm fulfilling what I want to do as a person. Tomorrow, I would be, I can decide I'm not going to work. I'm just chilling with my family. I'm, taking my daughter out. We need to reconnect and whatnot. At that time, I'm being a mom, but my work is suffering or something that I want to do on a personal level.
It's put aside.
Yeah, so for me, I don't know, I try and look at it from a week perspective, in that by the end of the week, at least I need to have catered to my business, I need to have catered to myself, and I need to have catered to my family. So I stopped looking at it from a daily activity
I can
scenario.
relate to that 100%.
Very much.
Last weekend, I went for a spa day for myself, just me, myself, and I, my own facial, my own pedicure, this, that. And my brother was at home. I didn't go. Okay, so when I'm not working, I also go for my, family business on Saturdays most.
So you have multiple jobs.
Yeah, so Monday to Friday I'm here, Saturday I'm here. Yeah, exactly. So that Saturday I was like, I'm not working this one overtime. I'm not going that one. I am doing my own thing because
and don't call me.
Yeah, like I was like, I'm offering my phone. I told my brother, you wejipange sasa at this point.
You are the man of the house.
Yeah,
now.
the man of the house. You stay there because mother was not there as well. He was like, now who's gonna cook for me? Who's gonna do nini? Bono jakuja shop, like And I was like, bro, maybe leave me alone today. And I was like, today is all about me. So job can suffer. You can suffer. You can cook for yourself. You can order takeout. That's not my problem. And he didn't see me the whole entire day. And I think it's important to do that sometimes. We need to be firm, because if I was like, okay, Shina, who's gonna cook for you? Let me just not do this.
And then at that point, now you're neglecting yourself,
and you need that fuel, because I need to go and do this for myself so that I'm able to serve better, do better in my job, serve better at home.
Yeah, because as they say, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly.
That's what she said.
Exactly, that's what she said. As African women, I know most times there's this word that is used when referring to us, and that is, this is a strong woman. And I hear that a lot, especially with our moms. And you know, when we were growing up, going to school, our moms were really industrious and, you know, taking care of us. And they went through things with some maybe they might never talk to us about. But one of the things that comes out all the time is she is a strong African woman. And you even hear it in funerals, actually, when someone is giving a eulogy and then they're like, she was a strong African woman. What does that even mean in our setting?
In my setting, I'd say, first of all, a strong woman is someone who's, like I said, confident, brave, bold, assertive, ambitious, and should also be able to say no. That is a strong woman. But my mother is completely different from what I saw from her. And from everything I saw from my family. A strong woman was someone who would be able to hold down the fort at home, would still go out, get the dollar at the end of the day, and still also be able to keep herself together in all that surrounding. That was the strong woman I saw growing up. And to an extent, that also motivated me. I saw that strength and I emulated it myself. But I also came to learn that there's some extents to strength, degrees to strength, you know. So, yeah, for me, a strong, confident woman is me.
And it became from, like, let's say, from your mom and impacted you.
Very much.
But at the same time, do you feel like your view of what a strong African woman looks like is really the exact same thoughts, you know, people in our other generations look at when they say strong African woman?
Strong African woman means to them. It means endurance. Yeah, you know, no matter what life throws at you, just hold it down. You know, like, don't move. Like, you're just supposed to, like, get on with the punches. Just roll with it. Don't say no. Don't oppose. Don't fight back.
Just be submissive and quiet somewhere.
And I don't stand by that. I don't stand by that at all. I feel like as a matter of fact, don't call me strong. Like, I am not a strong African woman.
I'm not as strong. I need help.
If that will if that will mean that I have to, like, endure and be treated a certain way that I don't stand for, like, don't call me a strong woman. I'm not a strong woman, because I will not stand and, you know, be in pain and be miserable in the name of I am a strong African woman.
And you know, now to even add on that, from a strong African woman perspective, we even sprinkle prayerful. We sprinkle prayerful, so it's more like strong prayerful African woman. And then you're like, the kind of suffering that in my mind brings, like, when I envision it, it's not necessarily what you are, you know, looking at. This is a strong African woman. Yes, ideally, even the word alone should mean then you are fought with what you want. You can fight mountains and, you know, move trees and all of that to achieve your goal. Nothing is really putting you down. The idea or the ideal strong woman description should look like that. But now in our African setup, then we find that kind of means you should be strong, but to what level?
Exactly. That's exactly what we were talking about even earlier, like how men out there are told, go and look for an African woman. Those women are strong. You know,
they'll be with you through your financial issues. They'll be with you through your, if let's say you can't, you know, make her pregnant, they'll still be with you, strong woman. Though, if we are even to go back to reproductive situation itself, if now it's the woman who is barren, there's no strength there. But now, if it's a man who is not able to make you pregnant, you are encouraged, oh, you're a strong woman, you know, this is a family setup, you can do it. And yet, when it comes to our counterparts, the same is not applied.
Exactly.
And the easiest example for me, I always laugh during Christmas when families travel up country. So if you're married, you go to your in-laws, for example, for Christmas. So on Instagram, I always see people are suffering. They're crying. They're like, oh my God, I woke up at 6. I've been washing dishes. I've been cooking for the whole family. I've been doing this and this. I feel like like I work here now.
Yeah.
And every time I see a message like that, I'm like, why don't you say no?
Yeah.
Like, you are tired. Anybody can see you're tired, honestly. You woke up in the morning, you made breakfast for everyone. Can the other people also now take
Where
her?
are
But the
sister
problem is
bills?
that they don't expect you to complain. They won't expect you to say no, because they know that is your duty, that's your role, that's what you got into marrying their son to be, for them to be your in-laws. That's the strong woman that they see you as, the one who's able to give, to provide, to help, and always be there.
And when you say no, then it becomes
a whole-
disrespectful.
disrespectful.
That your wife does not respect us.
And the worst thing is, even the husband will be like, yo, my mother said you disrespected her. No, I did not. I just said no.
Did you ever experience something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. My mother said, you said, and I'm like, bro, like, what do you mean? And then he's like, no, you should listen to what my mother says. And I was like, no. But then again, Sasa, you learn that, okay, so when you marry, you're not just marrying the man, you're marrying the
you're
entire
marrying
Oh my
the
God,
entire
someone told
family.
me that recently, that you wouldn't have a say on even things going on in the
No,
house.
I like how everything is just like a revelation. Based on her age, like, oh my God, someone told me recently, and we've been knowing this for years.
We've lived through it.
They told me that my in-laws will even choose my curtains.
Okay,
The-
that's crazy.
But she said she said that I'll have no voice, especially if it's a man that's a mama's boy.
Now that's a whole other problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I should look out for those kind of people.
Yeah.
But what do you feel all these impacts women from a health perspective? What do you feel from a mental perspective, how that looks like, even from a health perspective? Like, I can already feel the pressure is just too much. You're expected to be financially stable. You need to have a flourishing career, still submissive,
Yeah.
and, do all the house chores and whatnot. How is all this, from your opinion and your view, impacting women from a health perspective, whether mental or just general health?
Negatively. It's impacting us negatively.
Yeah.
And I know I'm still young. I haven't experienced everything that's about getting married and having all
And
that
by the
balance.
way, just so you know,
Yeah.
marriage is not bad. Marriage
Yeah.
is amazing.
I have no problem with
It's just
marriage. In fact, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, but
In the near,
that's
in the
where now
not
you
near-
have to choose the right
future.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's impacting us negatively because my in-laws will expect me to be educated, to have a job, to make things right, to also be there to support the family and always show up. If I keep pouring that much into my family, I'm going to drain my mental capacity that I want to be able to give myself to my work, even to myself. So that my mental state is not going to be right. It's never going to be right. Yeah, I want to be available to at least two aspects of my life.
Yeah.
If I give too much to one side, and that's the side they expect me to give much to.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
And remember, all this while you're expected to
also give back.
to give birth, be still in shape, and take care of your, if you need to go to the gym, you need to go to work out here and there. There's a lot of expectation from that front.
Yeah.
It is a bit too much. And we're going to have a guest who we are going to talk about, the impact of that stress levels, trying to balance careers and hobbies, all while trying to stay healthy. It can be a lot, but stay tuned to hear from one of our special guests.
That's what she said.